Episode 32 of Trade Seekers for Homers. I'm a little buzzed up because I'm celebrating. The unit is done and it is sold. The van is loaded, and this is my complimentary before I get off this channel forever kitchen episode. That's right. I figure I owe you guys that. I mean, I got, did the kitchen with the 2-part epoxy poured countertop, and here you go. Hey, be sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell. I know you're not gonna, but nice try. Ta-da! I went to Lowe's and they have everything in stock, huh? Let me tell you something, Home Depot. If you can't figure out how to stick your peg into the appropriate hole, then you definitely shouldn't be messing around with any carpentry or construction. Little advice. Okay, we're going to start with these upper cabinets first because it's easier to hang your uppers and not be bending over the lowers. And keep in mind that I sheeted the walls with plywood before I put my drywall on there so that I can bolt my cabinets to anywhere I feel like bolting them. Things to consider. Alright, thanks to Lowe's, we got all of our cabinets kind of dry fitted in there, and I wanted to show you guys why I'm buying a sailboat. It's because of stupid Hindu, Vietnamese, Democratic Party crap like this. Why is this hose 9 feet long? Why isn't all the water pumped out after they test ran it? What kind of hose fitting is this? How does that connect to your water line? You see what I'm saying? Look at, what am I supposed to do with the power? Where's the cord? Do I even get a plug with it? This is what I'm talking about. We've got to vote Republican. This shit has got to stop. My God, what a mess. I mean, let's face it. We can't be getting products from a country whose power grid is extension cords and duct tape. Their sanitation department is the street. Their landfill is the ocean. Vote for Donald Trump. Let's make America great again. We don't need these people. Oh, looks like they're sneaking up on us from the southern border. That's why the Democrats don't want the wall. Mexico. Only in a foreign country could you find a way to make 2 screws require 4 different bits. Come on. I'm surprised the dishwasher hasn't asked me about my car's extended warranty. So what we're doing is we're hooking up this here dishwasher before we go build the whole kitchen, and we're going to dry fire it. Make sure all of our connections are good and it doesn't leak and we don't have any problems, because once we have the kitchen all built in around it, it's going to be a little bit harder to get to. And my guess is because of the fact that some stupid college kids designed it and they don't even know how to change a flat tire, is that we're probably going to have some kind of a leak. Yeah, I would imagine so. So we get her tightened up. Make sure we don't over tighten the fittings. Yeah, there we go. A big clusterfuck of pipes down here. Let's see if it works. Well, it looks dry. Let's see water. I got my old shit towel right here. I'm going to keep a towel. You see right there where I zip-tied the pipe? I did it over there. I made a coil out of it. You don't want to go vertical. You want to go horizontal because it helps to drain better. Now, let me show you how I hooked it up. See this clusterfuck I got going on right there? It'd be nice to have a shutoff valve to put on there, but this is the easiest, simplest, and quickest way. I put a little red stubby on there to notify any future installers or maintenance guys that is the hot water line. In order to get a shutoff valve on there, you would have to have some kind of a conglomerate going on, something like this maybe. Going to hex to packs, or maybe you can make something like this up. You know what I mean? It's going to be ugly. And that's my whole point is, you could put a washer and a dryer in this, 10 minutes? This took me 2 hours to put together. It's stupid. If you ask me, a dishwasher is disgusting. Just get a sponge and be an American and wash your dishes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Alright, let's talk about access panels real quick. So in the bathroom, you got your access panel to your water shutoff valves to your shower. Access panel and access to your water main shutoff. So you don't have to crawl under the trailer to turn it off. Access panel to the stove. In case you want to pull the stove out and change it. How are you going to get in there, huh? I made sure that a screw gun fits in that hole. So we're going to put hinges or something on there, a little door. And lastly, this here is the access panel to the exterior house spigot. We're going to have to cut a hole in the backside of the Lazy Susan in order to be able to get to it to change it out in the future. So this is shit you gotta think about. So you gotta think about this stuff. You can't just go closing it all up and nailing the crap out of it. We're good to go, pay me. Well, what happens in the future? The people that are buying my house are elderly and they're on a fixed income. In the future, if there's ever a problem or they want to upgrade to a better system, I've made everything easily accessible so it can be changed out by the installer. I wish people would think of me that way. It's the 80s montage, you know? Do a little hard work. 80s montage. Alrighty then, dishwasher works and it does not leak. Got all of our cabinets set. You can Google that up, man. There's videos, but you know, when you're putting your cabinets in, you're screwing them in together side by side, and you want to go get yourself your various cabinet bits, you know, countersink bit, and you got this bit that drills a hole in the end, has a countersink in it. And what the hell am I doing here? Huh? What in the hell's going on here? Well, what we're doing is we are going to do a poured 2-part epoxy shiplap countertop. I'm using FRP glue on the back side of these pieces because that is going to seal it, because the 2-part epoxy is going to want to run everywhere and it's expensive, so we don't want that to happen. And I just got some from Lowe's, Famo Wood Glaze Coat Countertop. You can order a bazillion different kinds on the internet. This is how bars and restaurants do their business. So stay tuned, let's see how it goes, man. So let's talk about time and money. Alright, so because of the way my kitchen design is, it's a trailer, it's a mobile home, so there's very limited room for, like, you know, a dining room table to sit down and have family meals. So when I designed the kitchen, I made sure that I had a space, a little bar area to put stools so you could sit down. Therefore, widening the width of my countertop. Because the countertop is no longer standard stock width that Lowe's or Home Depot or any other big store would have in stock, that means I would have to order it. So, my experience, and your trade secret is when you order things from the store and they tell you 7 to 10 days, you might as well just figure like more like 9 months, or maybe not even ever, because I've ordered stuff and it's never even ever showed up, ever. So, I'm trying to get the hell out of here, first of all, like with a quickness, and second of all, by ordering the countertop, it's going to cost me, it's a custom countertop, it's going to cost me upwards of $1,500, probably more like $2,250 was my guesstimate, and I've been doing this for 30 years. So, my total cost of material on this custom countertop is $625, and it's badass. What? I mean, it's killer. So, my point is this, is time is sometimes more valuable than money. So yeah, I mean, I got to do a little more extra labor to get the countertop installed. Like this install is going to take me a total of about 2-3 days, right? Whereas if I bought the Lowe's Formica standard issue countertop, I'd have it in about 4 hours and the kitchen would be done and I'd be moving on. But, you know, there's other things to consider, and that is ordering from the store and the fact that, you know, who in the hell knows, or if whenever it's going to show up. So I might as well just go ahead and build the countertop myself to ensure that, you know, I mean, it's an extra day or two compared to an extra month or two. Think about it. That's what I'm talking about right there. Another reason why time is so important is right now the place that I'm going is in the middle of hurricane season. We're at the end of September, so like second, third week of October is when hurricane season ends. That should be about when I'm right down there. But, okay, so we got our pieces all installed. Looking pretty sharp. Yeah, a little something different besides a mitered corner with the 45, because like every countertop on earth does that. So your trade secret for 2-part epoxy is this. I'm going around, and I got me a little shim jig I'm using. You know what I mean? And I'm creating a bucket for the 2-part epoxy to rest in. I don't know if you can see it very well. Okay, so what you want to do is have an edge, and I'm siliconing it with clear silicone. There's two things when guys pour countertops or do all of their projects with 2-part epoxy. When they build their molds, they use Tyvek tape or clear silicone. Those are two things that will not have a chemical reaction with the 2-part epoxy and will separate. Dust is your enemy. Make sure the whole place is clean. So I got a lot of clean. And you have to have interior temperature maintained at 80 degrees. These are things to remember. Well, alrighty then. We are ready to pour. I want you to look. I got plastic on the cabinets. I took the drawers out. Plastic in there. Tarps on the floor. Cardboard underneath that. I got it all the way around. Every single available anything that I own, I've got on the floor. This is click together flooring. You get 2-part epoxy on anything and it's permanent. It's permanent. You cannot remove the epoxy. It does not wipe off. It does not come off with chemicals. There is no way to remove it. It's heat activated. It will melt shit. Okay? It melts it. Melt it. So get every single available piece of shit that you got laying around and cover up whatever it is that you don't want ruined. Because if you spring a leak along this mold line I made, you spring a leak, buddy. But it's going to look sweet. Here, check out my corners. Look at this. Oh, man, that corner is just sexy. Oh, man, it's going to look great. Can't wait. All right, so we're going to let the silicone and all the glue and the whatnot dry. And tomorrow, when I wake up, we're going to crank up the electric heater, not the furnace. Do not use forced air during your 2-part epoxy pour. The air is pushing dust. The dust is going in the air, and it is sticking to your epoxy. I've cleaned the whole building. I've got the electric heater set to 80 degrees. I'm going to close everything up, turn off the furnaces off. No furnace. No dust. No shit on the floor. Be prepared. Here we go. Yeah. Alrighty, we got our pour on. Oh, buddy, let me tell you what. So I'm using the torch here because the torch, the carbon monoxide from the fire in the torch will remove any blemishes, and it will also take out bubbles, and it will help it self-level. Yeah, but this is going to be pretty sweet. Very nice. I'm proud of myself. I hope you're proud of me too. No, I probably didn't mention that oftentimes it takes 2 coats depending on what you're pouring. And, you know, for me, like the stuff I build with grooves in it, or you got rocks or anything that's inside of it, you know, lights or whatever, you got to do what's called a fill coat, and then you got to do your flood coat. So we're on fill coat now. You can see why. So, like, I went down in the cracks so you can see where there's like bald spots. You see that right there, right there? See that? So it goes down into the cracks. The cracks drink it. So even though I glued the crap out of it to seal it up, it's still going to happen. Like over here, this one groove right here, man, it just like doesn't even have any in it. All right. So you got to wait 4 to 5 hours until you can do your flood coat. You know, and I got 2 more jugs of it right there, ready to go. And then you just put it on there again, and it'll flood it out, and you got to basically hang around next to it like all day long, and take your paintbrush and touch the edges up because you don't want runs, and take your torch and go through again and again and again until you get all the bubbles out of it. It's a time-consuming process, but the end result will be totally epic. And there's the flood coat. Floody. You can see how the end's all filled in now. Look at that shiny shininess. That's as close as perfect as it gets right there. Moving on. Well, okie dokie. That concludes the episode Kitchens number 32, Trade Secrets for Homeowners. And also my final episode, because this unit is sold. I have received the check. And now all I gotta do is pack my shit and clean up. And I am on my way to Key West. I have a sailboat lined up, a slip space lined up, a job lined up, even a storage facility lined up. So, make sure that you like and subscribe and you ring the bell and stay tuned because things are going to get very interesting.